I'm sure a lot of girls would love to not have to choose between two guys. How do you go about creating and portraying a relationship like this that's so complicated while making sure it seems genuine?
I think the fact that we're not really dealing just with one female character here makes it slightly easier to understand the situation that they're in. I mean, there are two characters here, and certainly when I was working on the film, I very much treated it in that way, that, you know, we were dealing with two different women here who obviously are in love with two different men. So it's quite complicated and messy, unfortunately, but at the same time it kind of makes sense that that's the way it would be.
Well, this is the first sci-fi story for both of you. How is it working in a genre that's usually male-oriented?
You know, I grew up reading science fiction. It's one of my favorites, and I didn't think about, when I was writing it, it felt very natural because it's what I like to read, it's stories I enjoy. I didn't think of it as being a male-oriented genre. I guess it is, but there are many women out there reading science fiction and enjoying it, and it's our genre too.
That's it, yeah.
Well,
cool.
Well, also in Twilight, one of the main messages is abstinence. You know, no sex before marriage.
It's not really.
Oh, really? Oh, good. Okay, because like in here, I wanted to say, you know, Melanie and Jared seem to sleep together, but not being married. What made you make that choice here?
In Twilight, there was a character who was born in the early 1900s and had a different value set. And I really enjoyed taking this anachronistic character, shoving him into modern life, and like having him stay who he is and making everyone else bend. It was fun to write. In the host world, it's a whole different scenario. And this is how the characters would behave under these situations.
It's a modern relationship.
Well, and it's just that's the world that we're in. And so in Twilight, that was just the character I was working with. And it made the story more interesting.
Well, on that note, my last question is, what do you hope that audiences understand about the host? What's the message there?
I hope they enjoy it. I hope they have fun watching it. I mean, honestly, I write stories because I enjoy reading them and being a part of this world, and they're exciting to me. And so I hope that people have that same experience. And then, you know, I think it does make you think a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the ultimate goal, really, with any film, is that you want the audience to enjoy it and to come out sort of thinking about any topics that have been raised afterwards. And obviously, you know, it's something that Stephenie created, but for me anyway, I very much see it as a story. I mean, it is about love and it is about romance, but it's also about our planet, and it's about, you know, different perspectives on what's good and what's bad and what's a threat for the planet and what is potentially good for it. And that's what I always found really interesting about it, is that it's a sort of play on all these different attitudes towards certain things, like love, like health, like happiness. So.